Vroom, 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 vroom. Honk, honk. Get in, losers. We're going struggling. Vroom, 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 vroom. Hey guys, welcome to another ride in the struggle bus, where every wheel is an empty triangle. On today's bus ride, we're playing against a 12K on OGS, and we get to go over the bane of your existence, and that is late invasions. We all know how frustrating late invasions can be, especially when they work, because all of a sudden you've just lost a game that you were winning the entire time through. So it's important to understand how to handle them and what to do and what not to do. And we get 2 late invasions in this game, and so we can go over how to handle each one and what I'm looking at. The other exciting thing from this game is, or not from the game, but from this video, this is probably the video where we do it, guys, where our little channel here reaches 1,000 passengers. That is pretty exciting indeed. Did not think that we would get to where we are, so I hope you guys have been enjoying it. Thank you for coming along on the ride with me. I know that I've been enjoying it. So anyway, as per always, I'd like to thank our opponent for playing us today. I'd like to thank you guys for watching these videos, and I'd like to thank my Patreon subscribers for supporting the channel. So with that introduction out of the way, let's get into this game. Okay, here we go. We are playing against a 12K on OGS. So as per always, we will be focusing on the basics, as well as the beyonds the basics. We'll see how the game goes and what we'll have to deal with. And so we have the low Chinese, which is fine. Usually for these Moyo base openings, I just like approaching the 4-4 from the outside. We can let them build up the right side. That is okay. Basically, the game plan will turn into trying to reduce this later in the game. But if they invest too many stones on the right-hand side, then we can get better compensation. And if they just leave it like they should, then we'll just reduce it later, and that's fine. All these things are okay, but I know that people often struggle with these openings. But anyway, we will just do our normal response here. I am playing a 4th line stone because we already have a 3rd line stone here. And so that is, we could play L3, or K3 rather, or K4. I chose K4 because we have a 3rd line stone over here. Okay, this is at least consistent with what this opening wants to do. We have 2 corners that we haven't developed quite yet. We have a 3-4 stone and a 4-4 stone. Typically, we want to extend off of our 3-4 stones first, so we'll do that. I'll just play the 2 space high. This is the extension I've been enjoying, but if you guys wanted to play C5 or D5 or C6, all those are fine. If you wanted to extend from this corner, also fine. So it kind of looks like we might have dueling Moyos going on, and so I'm glad to see that our friend is jumping in. So the question is, do we want to take the outside, or do we want to go and take points here? So a lot of you are like, well, we want points. Points are good. But let's talk about how points actually aren't too important till the end of the game. Strength of groups is important for the entirety of the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to play on the outside, get some influence, and get some strength, and then hopefully that strength will give us some things throughout this game. But if you wanted to play J3, I certainly wouldn't fault you for it. It is a fine enough move. But here, I'm just going to take the influence. It's important to point out, when we made this decision right here, when we made the decision to play this 4th line stone, that was us saying we are okay taking influence. If you want to give us influence, we are more than happy to have it. So our friend has extended, we will block our cut. And if they push, we will honey, right? The goal here is to keep your opponent really low. So that's what we're going to do. Black's going to live here, that's fine. But we just want to make sure that we're getting more out of this than they are. So we will extend one more time, and then we'll see. They should, nice move. I was just going to say they should probably jump out to something like F3. And so here it's a little tricky. You know, we might want to play E2, but it's a little too early for a 2nd line move. and we kind of want to take the outside. So let's continue taking the outside. We're going to play e4 here, because again, you got to stay consistent with what your plan was. Our plan all along here was let's take the outside. So we can't be changing course and playing something like e2. So we're going to continue to take the outside. This is going to strengthen our corner, which should turn into some good points. Talking about points, you know, points are important, but this is an effective way of getting points, is by strengthening your group. And as you strengthen your groups, you will just naturally get points. It's like magic. It's crazy. Anyway, so our friend Hanade and we Hanade, but they left an Atari behind, so we're gonna go take it, which will probably force Black to connect. And now the question is, do we want to block here? And if you guys know the rules, if you guys know the basic rules, you know the answer to this question of should we be blocking here. And now, I know, guys, in your game, you're absolutely blocking here. But if you've been watching these videos for long enough, you know in your heart of hearts, we can't play a second early line move. Much too early for a second line move. So we still have a corner. We still have a corner that hasn't been fully dealt with. So let's go do that. So what do we think is wrong with this move? What rule does this break? What basic rule does this break? We have a third line stone and a third line stone. We played yet another third line stone to help with this third line stone. Too many third line stones. So where's the big move? Is this Sente? Nope, it's not Sente. So where are we going to be playing now? We've got Sente. Let's play the biggest move on the board. Where's the biggest move? Probably something either over here or over here. I don't want this to be a Moyo versus Moyo game. So let's go reduce over here. Anytime we have these third line stones, we can go after them. We could look at a shoulder hit, but this stone actually isn't terribly strong. There are a lot of options here. We could do either shoulder hit, we could do either attach, we could jump in here, we could jump in here. But let's just show a pretty simple invasion. Let's do it on this side. Black's a little weaker on this side than on the top. So we're going to play on the weaker of the two sides. Remember when I said earlier in the game that all we really need to do is reduce what this right side turns into. And so Black plays on the other side and another third line stone. So this doesn't do a really good job of developing the potential here. A move that Black could have considered is something like this to really help turn this into something. That is not what Black did. Black played another low stone. We're going to jump out now. Get this stone a little stronger. Remember, strength of groups, really important. So we're just jumping out, getting this stone strong, and we're going to try to outdevelop our opponent over here. So our opponent jumps out. I think I will jump one more time, make sure that our group is nice and strong, and then we'll probably transition into trying to develop the left side, but it depends on where our friend plays next. So let's see where they play next. They did attach, or they did connect their groups. But the thing is, this corner was already alive. This bottom was already alive. So that was not necessary. Is this move Sente? No, this move is not Sente. Where's the biggest move on this board? Most assuredly somewhere on the left side. So let's go, let's pop a stone here. I typically don't play moves like this. I usually recommend to play closer to one of the two stones that you're trying to extend from, but this is a fine move. We are certainly not going to lose games because of it. So it's their turn to jump in. We're just going to kick. We're going to protect this corner. Black will extend, but it's interesting because now Black can't really extend in this direction because we've got our stone here. And so what do we want to do? We probably just want to fly out to threaten to attack this group. We are not looking to kill these two stones. That's not going to be our goal. That's never our goal. What is our goal when we attack? Our goal is profit. So we're going to play a move like this, which does some clear work in developing this area, but it also does some clear work, well, I guess some subtle work to attack these two stones. Because if we play a capping move like this, it blocks the direction, one of the directions that Black could run, and now this stone blocks another direction. So what we're going to do is we're just going to play a nice little leaning attack on this group. And now you can see that we're actively attacking these stones, and this stone was already placed there. So this stone was actually the attack. Black kind of missed that, and that's okay. So black plays a strong shape move, but I think they're going to struggle to potentially get surrounded here. So what I'm going to do, playing a move like e13 would be like a really pointed attack. I think that's a little too strong for what we're trying to do in this game. So let's just play here, make some nice shape, and this will really show the profit that we're aiming for, right? In this situation, you know, where's our profit after we play this move? It's pretty clear that we're developing this into a pretty big area. So that's our profit. We don't need anything more than this. We certainly don't need to kill the stones. And so black probably needs to run out. Black should probably play something like f13, but you see that leaving this weak group behind to play n12, there's a debt that black has to pay now. And so we're going to get quite a few points. And as black runs this way, we're going to be able to chase black into the territory or into the potential that black is building up here. So that'll be a nice active way to reduce. That's something that I haven't gone over, but the best way to reduce a big potential area like this is to have a running fight run in that direction. Black will be able to connect. Black will be nice and safe, but as we go along, we're going to be getting strength too, and then we'll be able to push in. Okay, so black is playing a little slow here. If we play a move like f12, f13, this might die here. So we don't want to kill. We do not want to kill the group. So let's play here. This will make it even tougher for this group to run while also developing this. Black's going to be really careful with this because these stones pretty much just are dead now if we actually want to kill them. But we don't actually want to kill them. So what do we want to do here? There's a cut here that we need to be a little mindful of, especially as black is getting strength here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play something like this, which is going to help protect this cut. That is the goal of this stone. We do need to be aware that as this gets stronger, these three stones are going to get weaker. But really, I mean, these stones, we could kill them. But again, I just kind of want to highlight how we can attack for profit. We don't even need to kill those stones. The onus is on our opponent to save those stones right now. So eventually, either another move is going to go into saving those stones, which means we're going to get 2 moves in a row on a board eventually, or we're just going to go kill the stones. So we'll see which way this goes. But first, we have to take care of our own weaknesses, and so that is why we are doing this. Okay, now black plays one of our notorious bad shapes here. It's the broken Kema. So we know that the knight's move is a good move, but not when there's a stone right here, because we can just immediately push through and cut the stone. In this case, I think we're going to play the Hane instead. Just to stay connected. I really don't want this cut here. Well, I mean, we're cut either way, but this removes a liberty from the stone. I want to remove a liberty from the stone, so that's why we are playing this. You know, playing n6 is probably stronger, but it doesn't remove a liberty from the stone. I just want to be able to capture this quickly. But yeah, this isn't going to work for our friends. Okay, so they push. But the issue here is we can just connect now, and this cut really isn't a problem. So we can just connect. If black chooses to cut here, we can now connect with n3, and everything should be okay. We do have a cut at h5. We do need to be mindful of, but we should be okay here because we do have an okay number of liberties. And if black plays L4, black's also going to be losing one of their own liberties. Okay, so now we definitely need to be careful of this cut. Black is looking to play L4, which will force us to connect, and then play H5 to capture these 3 stones. With black playing here, if we were to do something like this, and black cuts, threatens to kill these 2 stones, and now threatens to kill those 3. So that is not good. We have to fix this cut in the best way we know how. And it is probably playing this move. This is a nice shape. it's a good way of protecting the cut. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to play here. If you wanted to just connect directly at h5, perfectly okay, but might as well show a nice efficient way to protect that cut. A little beyond the basics, if you will. Okay, and so black plays here. We will Atari the stone. And now, no matter which way black goes, we can connect on either side. And even when we lose the liberty, this cut does not work for black. So we can actually Tanuki this. But I'm still going to play a local move. I still want to try to connect up with our stones. So I'm just going to play here. So yeah, unfortunately, these 3 stones are going to get eaten. And we're able to, I think, probably be able to connect up with our stones here, but we will see. We will see how it goes. We're still not out of the woods with these 3. Should be okay, but this group is fully alive. And also, I mean, it's worth pointing out, these stones, they're still very not healthy. Okay, so black connects here. I probably do just want to do something to connect here, because with these 2 one-space jumps, there's a lot of Aji there. So I'm just going to play this to protect that. So now these 3 stones are connected, and because of this shape, this stone should be okay as well. So let's see. Black has Sente. Where are they going to choose to play it? Where on this board does black feel like they should play? If you were black, where would you play here? Would you look to grow your potential here? Would you look to try to save this group? Would you play this move? Well, I'm going to connect, which Atari's this stone, and then they extend. We should probably do something to get more liberties for this. I'm not concerned about any of the cuts here with this stone at either of the Ataris, because it'll be fine. So we're just going to extend, mostly to increase our liberty count. We only had 3 liberties, and black can reduce one of them in Sente. So now so after this, we now have 1, 2, 3, 4 liberties. But we are just going to extend one more time. And if black extends again, then we'll Hane. We have more than enough liberties now to be able to get this as well. And I'm not too concerned about the cut. Okay, so this is now eyeing this cut, right? And so this is the cut we need to protect. And so we will protect it, because there's a cut here, there's a cut here. Gotta be mindful of those cuts. Gotta protect your cuts, especially in these fights where liberties are gonna become really important and cuts are going to be really important. So we don't want to leave these weaknesses behind when we are in the middle of a fight. And yeah, that is certainly a move. I like how this is going. So we have to read this ladder, but it's not really going to work, because if black plays here and we extend, the ladder doesn't work, because we instantly get to Atari, and black can't push us up twice, because then it'll be an Atari on these stones. So all we need to do is block this from connecting to his friends outside. We are certainly strong enough to just go and kill this stone. So you guys are probably going to yell at me. You're like, Gabe, you said don't aim to kill. And that's true when you're attacking. When you're attacking, the aim is not to kill. But if they are playing like completely in your surrounded territory that is very strong, yeah, sometimes you got to kill the stones, right? There's no way this stone should live, and so we aren't going to let it live. Okay, so what do we do now? There are options for sure. I think the cleanest option is to just play here, which threatens to connect up to this stone. Keep the stones separated. There's not going to be enough room to live in here. I think that's probably the best thing to do. We could have looked at playing c7. b7 also would have been a good move. b3 would have been a fine move. But I think going for the splitting move here between these 2 stones, especially with d6 being here, we're going to be able to connect up to it, and that is what we're going to do. And so black is going to start running out of liberties here. So here we need to be careful because there's the Atari and the connect. So I'm just going to play here. It removes a liberty. And so this is most likely going to become a Liberty race. Our group has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Black's group only has 1, 2, 3. So now we will play this to make sure. We need to make sure that that white, or the black rather, isn't going to get alive. Certainly can't let black live locally here. So we're going to do this just to surround, reduce eye space, and now black is playing this. I like this. This is good. This is really good, because there's a cut here that we need to be pretty mindful of, and there's this Atari, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to fix this cut. I think the best way to fix the cut is probably just directly connecting. We could have looked at the tiger's mouth, but I think in this situation, just connecting is probably the cleanest way to go, because black's still surrounded, right? That's the thing is black is trying to fight inside our area. Black's completely surrounded. We're alive on the outside. We're going to be alive on the inside because these stones are going to die. And so black is going to end up losing this. So now black is coming out, and there are potential weaknesses here. And so I think we just want to shore up the weaknesses. So I'm just going to play here to stay connected and to threaten to surround this group. I'm really surprised that black played here and then Tanuki'd. So let's go play a small endgame move, see if black can find that they need to not let this group die. Because if we play something like G12, this group is just dead. So let's see. Okay. Black attaches to one of our stones. We could look at the Hane. The Hane is probably stronger here, but let's just show you how we can still attack for profit. We do not need to kill this group. The goal was never to kill this group. The goal was to get profit. But here we've got that same shape, and we have to break through. There is really no other choice here. We just have to take the cut. And now, unfortunately, black is kind of forcing us to kill this stone. Black really needed to play a move like this, which would allow us to play something like here and break in. That's all I wanted. All I wanted was to break into this territory to reduce it. But with black playing these moves, I guess it's still the same thing. We're still going to be able to break in, but there was no reason to play that shape move first. And so then black plays here. It's very unfortunate, because if we play this, I think this group's going to die. So let's just extend. Again, our goal was just to reduce this. So that's what we're going to do. And then black plays here. We'll just continue to see if black lets us go in. And I always struggle. I don't know what to do here. Do I just kill this? Do I just kill the group? Maybe I should. Let's play here. Further reduce this and play here. See if black blocks. And now what do we want to do? It's a good question. It's a good question. I think we are just going to play this move and see how black responds to this now. So black plays the empty triangle. Problem is black has to deal with a move like this. And then black plays this, but it's move. We don't even need this to be a ko. We can just connect, and this is no longer an eye. And there are no eyes outside. And there's no way black can connect outside because black forced me to take to get all this strength, and so we can just block black. And can we play here? Can we play here? This probably works because we have already surrounded. We have already surrounded. So we'll play here. And, well, actually, no, maybe black's going to live now. Maybe black is going to live because they can play F11, which turns this into an eye, and this is already an eye. So black has lived. But again, doesn't matter. Our goal wasn't to kill this stone. Our goal was just to reduce this, which we have done. So we can go on to the next basic question. Is this stone worth saving? I don't think so. I don't think it's worth saving. So what do we want to do? We want to find the biggest move on this board. we're pretty much in endgame. So we can look at something like b15. We can look at something like the monkey jump. It's a very big endgame move. I'm sure we are all familiar with this one. No matter what black does, black cannot stop this stone from connecting. And then black played here. Sure, we'll keep on pushing. I have no problem with that. So where do you want to play now, friends? Okay, I will... If we push, it ends in Gote for us, so I don't want that. So let's play some more endgame. We will play here. And we will play here. And I just realized this isn't an I yet. This isn't an I yet. It's still Ko. We can take the Ko. Black still isn't alive. If we win this Ko, black is still a hurting unit. So let's go play here for more endgame. And play here for more endgame. We're just taking all of our Sente moves. And connect. And then let's go try to push in here. Just reduce this a little more. That's all we're looking to do. Okay, so he's trying to cut us off. I say no. I'm going to go attempt to connect. And I will just connect. And so black's going to be a little careful here. Because now that we're in, well, black's going to be really careful, because if black cuts me here, I just push through an Atari and we'll probably end up killing these stones. But if that's what black wants to do, that's what black wants to do. We have to do this, unfortunately. So we can go and play this, remove the liberty from black. This isn't what I was looking for. I just wanted to reduce black questions that we were connected, which is fine. But we are connected. So I think black's going to lose quite a bit from this, unfortunately, because I think these stones are going to end up dying, and then black's still going to have to do something here. Okay, so I think just killing these stones is good enough. So we're just going to go capture these stones. Okay, we'll play here. He unfortunately did not read this little ladder, but this ladder does work for us. And then he plays here, but yeah, I mean, it's just this. It's just that. It's really not much black can do here. Maybe they saw the double Ortari and they were excited about that, but this stone doesn't matter. And then then it comes in. It comes in Sente because black needs to block this. Okay, so what do we want to do now? We're still fully in endgame, so let's go play b15. b15, big move, especially since we have this little guy here. Okay, so what do we want to do now? It's a good question. I think we can go play this, go push in a little bit, and threaten to cut there. And I think that's going to be about it. I think yeah, there isn't too much more to do here. So let's go play this. So these 3 stones are dead. All this is dead. These are dead. This did live. A little sad, I know. Let's go play here. We'll need to block at A15. We'll want to save G10. That's pretty important. And then, probably fix this. Yeah, that doesn't really do anything playing on the inside. Strange move. We'll disconnect. It's a move I wanted to play anyway. It's great shape. Bamboo joint. And black just loses this stone. And then we will obviously play here to save our 2 stones. If black pushes, we'll connect. Yep, we'll just connect here. And then black does take the double Atari. That's fine. We'll go and capture this. And black can capture. But black plays here. Interesting move. We will block here. And we will block here. We have more than enough liberties to capture these 4 stones. We can also connect underneath. So we are fine. We can also cut through here. Black doesn't have enough liberties to be fighting this. So let's just go and cut these two groups, and that'll, this group was already 100% alive, but this will make it like totally alive. So we'll play here, and black plays here, but that's not going to work. We're just going to play here to reduce the eye space. There's no way for black to get two eyes here. So black can play there. We just connect, and either we push at c4 or we can play a4. Black cannot block both. And so it's me-I for death, either a4 or c4. So for us, it's me-I to kill. But yeah, there's nothing there for black. Okay, black looks to connect on the outside. We're just gonna say no. It's important for us to not Hane here, because then black could have Atari'd and then gotten an eye, and then it all would have been bad. Okay, let's connect here, remove that Aji, and maybe black needs to be reminded. Yeah, there we go. I was just gonna say, maybe black needs to be reminded that that group actually is not alive yet. For a fun little endgame move, we have this, because black can't play here. But looking at it, black's got some sensei moves. So let's just play a15 as a reverse sensei move, because black could have played it. That is not going to work, friends. That is not going to work. So we're just going to play here. There's certainly not enough room for black to do anything. I think we can just play here. That's the end of that. That's going to be the vital point for any shape that shows up here. This is going to be the vital point for it. So we are fine. We're fully connected to a living group. So even if by some chance we don't get local life here, which seems highly improbable, then we are still fine. Again, I really don't care what shape black is aiming for here. This stone's going to be in the vital point for it. So black could try to play b19, but we're just going to be able to extend to b17. If black plays b17, we just extend to b19 or d19. But yeah, black has no way to get two eyes here. Just like down bottom, there was really no chance there. But guys, like, this is frustrating for us, right? Where like this game, it's going well, and then your opponent like just tries these things that they don't work. But if you mess up, right, you leave, if you let your guard down even for one move and you make a mistake, all of a sudden they live. I could have very easily made a mistake to let this group live. Or same here. It's like if you play one wrong move, all of a sudden your opponent's alive, and that's really frustrating sometimes. But that's go. It's also what makes it fun. Okay, I'm gonna capture this stone. It's enough points. I think it's enough points to warrant it. And then I do want to show the fun move of O13. It's fun because it looks like black can just cut us off, but they can't, because it would be a self Atari. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to connect up here. Black should Atari on the outside. That's really all black can do. Oh, and it's not even Atari because we've got K18. So yeah, there's just nothing for black to do here. And so black plays here. We don't need this. We do not need this move, but I'm going to play it anyway. We're just going to do the throw in, which will remove some extra eye space. If black captures, black is dying in Gote. Do not die in Gote, friends. Don't do it. Okay, so black's playing here. That's fine. That is fine. Let's go play this just as a little reduction. For the rest of this, we've got, I guess, P5 and then O13. Okay, so we'll come back. I think we can probably play here and get black to respond. We can probably play here. Oh, this is definitely going to get a response because this cut. And we can play this because that'll get a response because of this cut. And now we can end with this really cool move. It's just fun. It's a fun move. Black cannot play here because it's a self-Atari. No, so black played there, so we even get it. We even get it in Sente because now we can play here. It comes in an Atari. Okay, not much left on this board. We've got this, and we've got this. Let's play here because this is reverse Sente. If black had played here, we would need to connect. Black plays there. That's fine. That was Sente. I guess we could have taken that. That is fine. We've got this move. It's 1 point reverse Sente. And then I think all we have left is this over here and then G17. So G17 and 06 are the last two. Black's really still trying to live here. I really don't think this one's in the cards, my friend. I'll just go hit the vital point, even though it's totally unnecessary. Black was dead without this. But we'll at least respond. Okay, yep, we'll connect. The thing here is white, we can connect to either side. There's nothing to be gained there. Okay, yep. We do have that. That is true. So black played here. This is a vital point, but again, if black plays here, we can play here, and that kills. If black plays here, we can play here, and that kills. If black plays here, we can play here, and that kills. So I guess I'll just keep it super simple and just go and Atari this group. Just going to capture this group and be done with it. You know, these 6 stones here, which will give us all the liberties we need to do anything. Black plays here, but this just kills. So this was never a living shape. This was never a living shape. This at least was. But you can see again, all of this was just profit from our attack. That's all we were looking for here. Okay, we'll go and play this. That doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter because this is just going to be a false eye. So let's go play here as probably the last move. Oh, and then G17 I think is the last move on this board. I do not think there's anything else after this. So assuming our friend passes, I will pass. There aren't too many moves. Aren't too many moves that they can do that I would respond to. And that doesn't do anything. Black is still just dead, but sure, I will connect here. That is also a point, actually. So I lied. There was one more, but there's no life for black here. So I think our friend needs to study up on their basic life and death shapes in the corners, because neither of these two really ever had a chance to live. And black we can't be playing moves like this, expecting this to turn into anything. Okay, so our friend has passed. I will pass as well. And here we are. We won by a fairly large margin, right? This just turned into a ton of points. Okay, so let's go jump into a review and see where things could have gone better for our friend. Okay, so here we are in the review, and we'll mostly be looking at this from the perspective of black. All of this is fine. Nothing wrong with this move. I do like, this is just a preference. I do like something like this to break up what our opponents are trying to do. But there's nothing wrong with building a Moyo of your own. And then black jumping into here. This is a little early, right? If we want to be looking at where the big points are on this board, it's probably the left side. So black could, look at either of our normal invasion points. I would probably look at C14, I think, but either of those three would be fine. But this, especially after we've played D6, this is invading the strongest area on the board, right? This is where most white stones are. this invasion isn't going to fail, but it's not going to fail later in the game either, right? And you know, if we play this and we just do, you know, whatever the normal variation is, I'm certainly not going to come back and put another stone over here, right? I'm going to do something over here. And so, you know, we're still going to have time, you know, let's say, I don't know what would actually happen here. Let's say we do this, and then we play here to just get some kind of shape. We're still going to have the opportunity to play this way later in the game. Again, White's never going to come back to this. But anyway, so a little early, we decided to take the outside. This was a sharp move. I like this move. And then here, if we're going to do this, I think we're probably obligated to continue this way and maybe just ends like this. I'm unsure. Though I guess this does the same thing. Here, black should probably just let this stone go. And the reason is black can live at any time by playing this move. While I said this wasn't a great move, it was in the context of the game. Here, if black tanukis and we capture, black can play here to try to live, or black can just play here to live. Right? This isn't a big loss. And if white wants to follow this up, then this is actually really good for black. Right? This is black getting 2 moves in a row on a free board, while all white's really doing is probably getting 8 or 10 more points, which sounds like a lot, but not for 2 moves. So I probably would have let that stone go. So we got the tanuki, and then black played here, and I really don't, not a big fan of this move. And the reason is, especially when you're playing this Moyo style here, you really want to grow it as much as you can. And so this is much too flat, and I think I mentioned this last game. If we're black here and we're looking at this and going, how are we winning this game? How big do we want this corner to be? Let's envision a game where black is winning, right? Or envision a scenario where black wins this game. How big is this corner? Would we want the corner to look like something like this? Probably, right? You would probably want your side to look like this. So you want to grow that fence, right? That wall that we're building. You want it to grow outward. You don't want to pull it in. You want to grow that potential. So if nothing else, let's play here and try to push the wall out. This doesn't do anything to push the wall, right? Again, we wanted this to look like this, and now all of a sudden we're playing inside where we wanted our territory to be. So this was a good opportunity to play something larger, even something like this, like really grow it, right? Really ask for a lot. Or, something a little more tame like this. But if we're going to play up here, it needs to be a 4th line. We already have 2 third line stones. We can't be playing a third. And so because of that, I can just leave this area alone. It's already very inefficient because of all these third line stones. So I wanted to invade and reduce, and so I jumped in on the weaker side. And then, unfortunately, black came back. I would have liked to have seen black play this again to let's grow this potential. Let's grow this into something really big. But instead, black slinks away and still hasn't grown this fence at all. Like, it's stronger. It's turning into points, but it's not actually getting pushed outward at all. So anyway, so that gives us our opportunity to jump out. I think all of this was okay, but then black plays a very slow move here because this group's already alive, this corner's already alive, and so we don't really need to connect. This is an end game move. It's a really big end game move, but it's an end game. And so now this let us play something over here as where black most assuredly wanted to play a move like this, and either play here. Black could have looked at a move like this, something like this. There are lots of options. Even just basically plopping any stone over here is going to be big, and this is just a little too small, so it gave us the opportunity to go and grow. So here I wanted to showcase how we can attack for profit, and our friend was like, no, you can go kill those stones, and that isn't what we're playing here. So all of this is fine. I think black just needs to run out. Black isn't going to get local life here. The only way Black's going to live is by connecting out. And I know what you're saying. Well, okay, you're like, well, Gabe, he lived. We had opportunities to kill these stones. So when we played here and Black played away, we could have played a move like this, and that probably just kills, or a move like this, or a move like this. Like pretty much any surrounding move on this is going to get us there because Black doesn't have enough room to make eyes. But we went to protect the cut, and well, this was fine. This is really aggressive. It's just too aggressive. If Black wants to attack something, let's go do this and try to cut here because these two groups are not connected at all. And so this puts a lot of pressure on this stone. White would potentially come back, and now Black can do something like this, which really threatens to cut and then really break in, right? If White really wants to stay connected with means like this, then all of a sudden, Black can really come in, even just as simple as this. But I'm sure there is more with a move like this to really reduce this. But playing here, it's going to force us to fix our issues. I mentioned in the game, this is probably way cleaner, and this is what I'd like to see. But I wanted to just take away the liberty. And then we get this fight, and just Black is just asking for a little too much here. Unfortunately, it's not going to work. And then like these moves are okay, right? Because we're not losing points as Black. The issue is when we start getting stones like this for free. Because now, there were cuts here to potentially worry about, but now we just have such an easy solution to this that this isn't a concern at all. And that isn't true if these stones aren't here, right? If we turn these stones off, and we'd have to turn, like these off as well. Now potentially this could be a thing. Like, yes, we can capture these stones, but now all of a sudden is this a thing now? It's it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell, right? If if it goes this way, there's enough Aji that maybe Black can do something. But when Black forces us to play this move, it's like that kind of Aji, it goes away. So Black pushes and then jumps in, and Black's behind at this point, so Black does probably need to try some wonky things, but this isn't. Unfortunately, none of this was really going to work. But I mentioned him after the game. We talked a little bit. He said that he had some lapse in judgments, and I pointed out that like this aggressive play, it's really frustrating to play against, right? It's really easy to mess this stuff up, to get nervous, not stay calm, and all of a sudden your opponent lives in here because you played one bad move. And this is one of the fault of these videos is I'm going to know the shapes. I'm going to know how to stop these invasions much more stronger than our opponents are. But it helps still showing how I look at this, because this might not be a move that you would consider. It's very possible that you would have pushed and then tried something like this, but this might be enough to live all of a sudden. It gets complicated. It gets very complicated very quickly. So that's why I knew to play here. I just wanted to keep this group separate, and I knew that that this wasn't going to work for Black. But certainly a valiant effort. Very surprised here. Again, this group really needed to be given more attention than Black gave it. Again, this same shape showed up. We definitely need to avoid this shape here. Black really just needed to run out quickly, and I think that would have solved many of the issues. The last thing I wanted to go over is, for our friends when they watch this video, is this top left corner. Let's see where it finally happens. It's much too late to be invading here. If we want the 3/3 to work, you really got to do it before I play b15. So, sure, we had issues here, but I'm sure Black eventually got Sente. So Black got Sente here. I still don't think this is going to work now, but this is the time you have to try. You can't wait until white just fixes everything and then you jump in. So, even here it's probably too late. But it's certainly too late once we get this on the board. We can't be waiting this long. If there was an invasion there that was going to work, 50 moves ago was the time to try it. It still probably wouldn't have worked there, but we can't wait until our opponents get this surrounded and this draw. So yes, that's where we'll leave this one with those words of inspiration and advice. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this game. That's where we'll leave this one. So thank you guys for coming out for another ride in the Storm Coast, where every wheel's an empty triangle. Have a good one, guys.